Well, we're approaching spring storm season, and that means that you're probably going to hear more about the Storm Prediction Center's categorical outlooks going forward. And just a quick refresher, these are the days 1, 2, and 3 outlooks with the 1 to 5 scale system. 1 being marginal, or a 1 out of 5 risk, is the lowest, all the way up to a 5 out of 5, which is the highest risk they give, aka a high risk. High risks are incredibly rare. You don't typically get too many of those on any given year, but that is when they highlight the more significant severe weather probabilities. Now, it used to be with the old system, and this is where the changes are going to occur, they used to highlight more significant severe weather impacts with the individual hazards categories with what they called a significant hatched area. It was kind of just a blanketed area that highlighted where more significant severe weather could occur. And as you can see right here, this is where they're kind of getting rid of that significant hatched area as a broad highlighted area, and they're replacing it with a conditional intensity group, or CIG. Now with this, you're going to have SIG 1, SIG 2, and SIG 3 levels with the individual hazards categories, and this is made to show where the most intense severe weather is likely to occur. This is based off of probabilities, the environment that's at place, and it's able to highlight more significant risks and kind of break it down a little bit better. Now for the tornado and the wind risk, you're going to have SIG 1, SIG 2, and SIG 3 with those individual categories. However, when it comes to the hail risk, they're only getting a SIG 1 and a SIG 2 highlight for the overall hail risk. And to kind of briefly go over this, here's a look at the breakdown from the Storm Prediction Center with the probabilities and the SIG categories that they have for each of those risks. The only other change that's coming is for the wind category. Now, the individual hazard for wind is getting a 75 and a 90% probability for the overall wind risk. Now, to kind of explain the SIG 1 and the SIG 2 and the SIG 3, the Storm Prediction Center did this breakdown with this tornado intensity distribution chart. And what this shows is the Storm Prediction Center over the last 20 years used mesoanalysis data, and they used that data to identify observed tornadoes, their time and location during that period. Now the overall breakdown for SIG 1, SIG 2, and SIG 3 goes like this. SIG 1 indicates a slightly stronger environment for significant severe weather, and EF2 plus tornado potential went from 7% to about 20%. The SIG 2 indicated that there's a strong environment, and EF2 plus tornado percentage went from around 20 to about 30 for the probability. And then SIG 3, that's the strongest environment you'll get. This one's probably going to be a little bit more rarely issued. This is when it showed that the EF2 or stronger tornado potential rose to almost 40%. So just a quick recap, there's going to be no change to the 1 to 5 system. That's still in place. You're still going to have a 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, risk out there like we've seen the last several years. The only changes are going to be for the individual hazards themselves. Wind is getting a 75% and a 90% probability to their outlook. And then we're also adding the SIG 1, SIG 2, and SIG 3 category for the individual hazards. And keep in mind, SIG 1, SIG 2, and SIG 3, that's only going to be for tornadoes and wind. Hail's only getting SIG 1 and SIG 2. Additionally, the breakdown also shows that SIG 1, SIG 2, and SIG 3, they're highlighting the probabilities for significant severe weather. The higher you get with the SIG 1, SIG 2, and SIG 3, the more it is likely that you see more significant severe weather, and it's to kind of help communicate where those more significant impacts could occur. That's a look at what's coming to the Storm Prediction Center. Maybe a little bit confusing at first, but as we head into spring storm season, as we start to see these being used for the first time, we'll walk you through how these work again, and we'll probably let you know more about these in the coming weeks and the coming months. So that's a quick breakdown of what we have in terms of the new changes, and stick around. We'll have more, of course, throughout this storm season.